x to the 2k, and we had an x to the 6th power, and I told you if you're finding the square root, what did you do?
Divide it.
You divided the root into that, 2 into that, 2 into that. Okay. Number 9, we got x to the 6th plus 27. We're looking for cube root. So if I got a cube root of x to the 6th, if I divide that, what's it going to give me? Okay, so my first factor is x squared. That's the cube root of x to the 6th. Which means if I multiplied x squared times itself 3 times, remember when you multiply, you keep the base and you add these. That's how you get to it, okay? So cube root of this, just do this kind of like scratch worker on the side if you're not sure, so you can see the division there. Now, what times itself 3 times is 27? 3. That's your first factor. Now, 3 steps gets the second one. What do you get when you square x squared? X squared, and you square it. You get x to the 4th. Multiply these two and change the sign. And then square the last one. Does that make sense? Let's go ahead and look at number 10. What's the cube root of y to the 6th? What is it, class? Y to the 2nd. What's the cube root of 1? It's 1. Second factor. Square the first one. Y to the 4th. Multiply the 2 and change the sign. Plus y squared. Square the last one. Plus 1. Now this one, if you stop there, you didn't finish it. Because when you took the cube root of those two, what did you get here?
Difference of squares.
A difference of squares. So you got one more step. How are you going to factor that? Y plus 1, y minus 1, and then bring this down. Okay? Now in 11 through 18, take out your common factor first, and then you're going to have sums or difference of cubes. So you go right back to this. So I'm going to let you practice on those if you didn't finish them all. And then we'll take up any other questions you have one-on-one. All right? Last page, x squared minus 3x minus 18. Okay. If you've got 3 terms, x squared minus 3x minus 18, you check that to see if it had a common factor, and you get ready to factor it. If the leading coefficient is a 1, you don't have to do anything except go ahead and make your parentheses and put down the factors of that first term. Okay? Now, you know that much already. I can do that because that has a factor of 1 there. It's not another number there. Now, all you can do now is ask yourself this question. What 2 numbers can I multiply to give me a negative 18? But if I took those same 2 numbers and added them together, I'd get a negative 3. What's going to work? Which one's negative? Negative 6 and plus 3. Here again, it doesn't matter which one you write first. Okay? So all of those 1 through 8, that's the way you do them. Did you have a question about any one? 1 through 8. Now, if somebody didn't get a chance to work all of them and you see one there you think you might have a question about, ask it. That's what you're doing to every one of those, 1 through 8. Number 9, you're doing the same thing. Did all of those factor 1 through 8? Did you get them to factor?
Number 10.
Yeah? No?
Number 10.
Number 10. Okay, we aren't there yet. 1 through 8.
Oh.
So 1 through 8 first.
I thought you said afterwards.
Okay.
My bad.
All right, 1 through 8, everything should factor then.
Yeah.
Number 9, doing the same thing. You've got x squared minus 6x minus 27. Leading coefficients are 1, so I'm going to go ahead and put down my parentheses with my factors of x squared being x and x. Now I ask myself the question, what two numbers do I multiply to give me a negative 27? And if I add the same two numbers, I get a negative 6. What's going to work?
9, 3.
Negative 9 and a positive 3. Any question about that one? Now number 10, 6x squared plus 13x plus 6. This time we don't have a leading coefficient that's 1. It's something other than a 1. So you're either going to have to write down two parentheses, put the factors of 6x squared in here, the factors of 6 in here, and keep changing the combination and multiplying by the FOIL method to see if they work. That's called trial and error. Or you can follow the procedure I was showing you that said, okay, over here on the side somewhere, you do your scratch work. Multiply the first and the last one together. We've got 36x squared. Now you're going to ask yourself the question, can I find two numbers that I can multiply together to give me 36, but if I added the same two numbers, I get a positive 13? Well, if it doesn't just jump out at you, then start looking at your factors. 36 times 1, that ain't going to add up to 13. 2 times what? 13. Okay. 3 times what?
18 times 2 is 36.
2 times 13.
That's not right. No, that's wrong.
Should be 18. 2 times 18. 3 times what?
That's 13.
12. Okay. 4 times what?
9.
Are any of these two numbers adding up to this one?
9, 4.
9 and 4 will, won't they? Okay, that's what we're looking for. So we're saying if we take 9x and multiply it times 4x, it's going to give us that, right? We're also saying that if we take 9x and add it to 4x, we're getting this. So we're good. We found what we were looking for. Now what are you going to do? Rewrite the original problem, replacing this with those two things you just found. 6x squared plus 9x plus 4x, and bring down that last term. Group the first two together. Always put a plus sign between these two groupings. And group the last two together. Now, you know, usually by now I have a question asked. You know what that question is? Does it matter which one of these I write up here first? No. Still works. Okay? Now, work with each group individually. What's your common factor in this group?
3x.
Take it out. Put in parentheses what's left in each term. What are you going to have? 2x plus 3. Plus, work with this one. What's its common factor? 2. Put in parentheses what's left in each term. Now this is kind of like a checkpoint for you. When you get here, if you don't have the exact same two parentheses, you better go back over your work or start over. Okay? Now, this is all one term right here. It's all written as multiplication. This is all the second term right here. That's all written as multiplication. If I've got two terms, what factor is the same in both of them? 2x plus 3. So it now becomes the common factor for this term and this one. And what I put over here is what I had left. 3x plus 2. Any questions about process?